Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books. Well, we need to talk about it. Woke Marvel is doing massive X-Men race swaps. Now, this isn't just one character, and to me, I don't necessarily consider it woke if they change, a secondary character around and they decide they want to cast it a different way. But the issue is, Kevin Feige, Chapek, they're really targeting to switch out all the white male characters. They want them absolutely all gone. And a lot of people will tell me in the comments, like, well, Adam, we already knew this. Like, well, all of them? Like, that they're actively, like, they need to have this whole strategy that they're going to replace this white character with another character that looks different because they want to get rid of white male superheroes. Like, literally, they want to do that. It's strange for me to see because I've never quite seen anything like this. I've been involved in comics and entertainment for, a couple of decades, and I've just never seen anything like it, but we do need to talk about it. And this is coming from two great sources. I really like the insight from Matt McLoin on Cosmic Book News, but the original leak, the original article comes from That Park Place from WDW Pro, who has some great articles and some great information. So let's go ahead and get into the first article. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up when you like it. You guys have been great. The channel is growing. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, toy industry insiders state Marvel is planning to race swap. Do lots of race swaps for the X-Men. They don't like that they're called men in the first place, and they don't like these white superheroes. I mean, I understand. I've been around the block a few times. It's still strange to even hear me say it. Disney has one of the most beloved franchises in the world coming to the MCU very soon. Already, however, they are going in a familiar, controversial direction. He does have a way with words. Developing the merchandise around movies and shows is a massive group of industries. It involves games, toys, clothing, and more. As a company prepares to release a multi-million-dollar entry in a franchise, or even billion, years of work has already happened behind the scenes. Focus groups are assembled, researchers pore over analytics, design docs, and NDAs, which are non-disclosure agreements, which basically, if you're working on something and it's not public, a lot of times a company will ask you to sign an agreement that says that you will not release the information, that you also understand if you were to release the information that you could be sued over it, basically. I've signed them, and I've had people sign them for me. Not a really big deal. But they're passed around with executives of partner companies as they prepare the 12-month job of secondary and tertiary markets surrounding entertainment releases. So basically, it's the planning of all the licensed merchandise and all the promotion of all that merchandise and all the people, money changing hands and people putting resources into planning, like how are we going to make products based on this franchise that's coming out. So they do need to figure out what they're going to do. It would be nice if they just honored what Fox did, because what Fox did worked for the X-Men. For me, anyway. Most of the time, the non-disclosure agreements do work, but sometimes That Park Place is able to get connections with toy industry insiders at major partner companies of Disney. And they have been finding an unsurprising path forward for the X-Men. The property, they're told, is the next big thing for Marvel. It also makes you wonder, like, well, you've got the Avengers. Just do something great with the Avengers, but they're not doing something great with the Avengers, so they need to do something sort of terrible with the X-Men, apparently. Let me know what you think of that in the comments below. According to an insider and his connections with international market contacts, because, again, international market contacts, a lot of manufacturing for products is done overseas. It's not done in the U.S., so people need to kind of tool up their equipment. They need to know what they're going to be making. Disney's Marvel Entertainment is hard at work with their partners developing the future of X-Men. Action figures, assorted toys, t-shirts, coffee mugs, all the merchandise. It's time for a new X-Men brand under the MCU umbrella. Remember, they paid $71 billion for Fox, in part to get back the Marvel assets, also to get everything that Fox had in their entertainment division, which they didn't get everything, they got a lot. But even though, for now, the X-Men name remains, unfortunately for Victoria Alonso, who seems to just hate white male superheroes, While we've already heard that Marvel is testing devices that some of the characters will retain, smoking and womanizing, will you let Wolverine keep smoking? We'll see. We're now getting the latest rumor or leak that Disney wants to race swap various X-Men. In effect, they want to reduce the number of Caucasian characters. I'm telling you, the strangest thing I've heard in my life. Here's verbatim the message sent to That Part Place from their toy expert, whose identity they've confirmed and corroborated, but will remain anonymous on this site to protect their career. Right now, a big question is how much race swapping to include. The thinking is, this is so crazy. The thinking is apparently that race swaps will be more accepted if the incoming swapped-in actor is a bigger name, with the thinking that the more marquee the name, the bigger, more prominent the name, the star, the harder it will be for fans to object or criticize it. This is so backwards. Quick note on higher priced talent and budgets. Disney are looking at reining in budgets somewhat, at minimum setting caps. So a cap is a total amount on their film budget. The problem is that as projected actor salaries are planned to increase, there would be less left in the total budget for production. Remember, part of the winning formula per Disney going forward is to utilize cameos. That is a huge excitement factor for Marvel's movies. It has been in the past, but they have to be for desirable or interesting characters. Those add salary pressure even if it's included in an actor's contract, which means the pay is already built in. Also, actor salaries are not subject to various production subsidies that various states offer, as well as financing place for different accounting posts. What they're talking about with subsidies is if you film in Georgia or Canada or other states or countries that have special allowances for film budgets, they will give you a tax break, or they may even pay for part of the cost. And they do that to encourage all the business and the activity and the filming in that local area, wherever that is. But they're not going to do that for a star's salary. And accounting posts are interesting because sometimes Germany, there are foreign countries that do strange financing things, which basically allow you to have all kinds of tax advantages and make production a lot cheaper in that country. Also, special effects need dollar boosts, so that's also a pressure on total budgets. Still, Disney knows that they have to get a handle on budgets in order to help facilitate non-event movies hitting their theatrical profit lines. Now, they need to talk to another guy to get more, but select Fox Avengers will be included as bait and as jobbers, so they're going to bring in, the jobbers are to bring in, the new Disney X-Men. You know how many fans are continually calling out Disney for pulling bait and switches all over the place? Something they agree with, by the way, and focus groups are saying it's wearing very thin with even diehards who wanted to see Doctor Strange be a movie about Doctor Strange, not his new little friend and who cares about her? Back to the bait. Well, there's apparently set to continue with a strong faction at Marvel for better bait. Apparently, that's part of their oh-so-brilliant solution. The Fox actors are considered top-notch bait. At first glance, this better bait, when it rolls out, will likely be falsely interpreted by some fans of Disney as them listening to the fans. It's not them listening to the fans. It's a cynical money play, which also has a component to shut up those manufactured licensing products. CC, we gave you a white male hero for a few minutes, so what are you complaining about? You see, so for licensed products, they're also using it not just as bait for the fans, but for the people that are paying a fortune, the toy companies that are paying a fortune for licensing purposes. It'll say, listen, we gave you a white male character a little bit, so stop complaining. This is just so backwards and incredible. This is why this would never happen if Fox were to still have the characters and they were doing their own Fox Marvel movies. Obviously, this wouldn't happen, and Disney would have further competition pressure. That's why I'm so enthusiastic about Warner Brothers Discovery, because they have a good management team. They're focused on making money. They're not trying to eliminate a certain race or anything like that. All they're trying to do is make movies and make money. That's why if Warner Brothers Discovery does a race swap here or there, whatever, if they do it with Superman, it's a problem because now you're changing the entire identity of one of their main franchises. But if you do it with a smaller character, maybe it's not ideal, whatever. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people don't even remember. But if you're doing it with the deliberate idea that you're going to eliminate a race from your superheroes across multiple heroes. I've never heard of anything like this before. Continuing with the cynicism, the baiting with character actor stunts aims to also sell the characters which are Disney's real interest. In pro wrestling, it's called jobbing, where an established big name who pops with fans is used to put over, sell, or at least make more palatable a new character the wrestling promotion wants to push. Watch for this to get even more glaring going forward, so they're going to do even more and more of it. How to play Alphabet is also being mapped out for X-Men, which is at least 2 weeks ago is still being called X-Men. Wait until they change that. That should be interesting. They're working hard at trying to find a palatable to them balance between the minimum property authenticity to ensure commercial success and their main focus of being reflective of not only today's society, but also the society of tomorrow. One Marvel midline creative referred to this as unfortunate because that means having white men be more present than we want to. Good God. What do you think of this? Tell me in the comments below. They've not heard about any gender swaps, so that doesn't mean they aren't thinking of it. The unfortunate thing is the property doesn't need any race or gender swaps. It's already there. Alphabet, focus groups, and we've dug indicate that the large majority don't want any of this in their superhero entertainment. It's just the facts. Yes, the above is from second and third removed sources at Disney, but 3 of them have said that one of the main objectives is to continue to move on to transit from white men, even if this means leaving money on the table. Wouldn't you think you'd want to hear it, and you want to hear the truth? I mean, this is what they're doing. I wouldn't support this company, on any level for anything, or give them the benefit of the doubt on anything. They know that, unfortunately, white men are the money in the whole revenue stream chain, which includes multiple viewings. This is what's really important. Watch for what is the potential of multiple viewings for a movie they're putting out, which is why I say, sure, Black Panther 2 will probably do a bigger number than Black Adam, but more multiple viewings are going to happen with Black Adam than are going to happen with Black Panther 2 because they decided deliberately to not recast T'Challa when they had the opportunity to. Just didn't do it. Black Panther got to 1.34 billion internationally because it was perfect for multiple viewings. A great father-son type of movie that people would talk about and want to see with other family members. Great, but you're not going to have multiple viewings when you do this kind of garbage. More merchandise at higher price points, secondary media spends. We want to give the minimum possible needed to get the most that we can out of them. So let's just exploit these white men before we can get rid of them. We'll have to throw them a couple of bones. The parks, the boats, and football will pay the bills in the meantime. So definitely check out thatparkplace.com. It's something we all should be looking at every day because WDW Pro has great articles. Cosmic Book News has great takes on things. That's how I first noticed this because I look at them several times a day. And, let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Is this something you think Disney would actually do? You know where I stand on it. And how do you feel about that? What does that make you think of the Marvel characters that we grew up really so enthusiastic about? Okay, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up when you like it. And I will see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.